Hello, my name is Zoe Soazi and I'm an artist and art lover. Happy Father's Day to all the great dads. You know what they say, everyone can be a father, but not everyone can be a dad, or chooses to be a dad rather. But before we delve into that, I just wanna thank all my subscribers. Like, we closely getting to 100, and I'd like to also encourage those who are watching this video or who are regular visitors to please hit that subscriber button. Today, I focus on men who decided to partake in growing and grooming their families. But moreover, I focused on the impact that they had on their daughters. Because normally we always just hear about daddy issues. But what if you grew up in a good home? What does that look like for your current life? So I asked my sisters to let us in on what it felt like growing up with a dad and what the good impact was around that. And I must say they did such a great job. I really enjoyed putting this video together. And I'd like to actually send a special shout out to the ladies for participating and making this happen and sharing a piece of you and a piece of your personal life for our betterment. Tube, Ayanda, Nontle, and Zwanaka. Thank you so much. I'm really appreciative for what you have done. This is a brilliant video, and I think I'll actually do more because of how well you guys actually handled it. The objective of this video is to literally show the good impact that a father can make. The other objective I have in creating this video is so we can encourage men to do and actually be better, especially with the climate that we are in South Africa, with men terrorizing and literally killing women. Every single day of our lives, there's a woman missing. And so with this, I just want to show love and respect to men who are actually doing it right, and may this be a source of example for other men. And mind you, it's not lost on me that most of us actually don't have fathers. You know, you either lost your father through death or your father was not present in your life. Trust me, I know the situation because I've actually suffered both. But my message to you is we have a Father in heaven who's willing to fill up those spaces and gaps that our real fathers here on earth couldn't fill up. So be encouraged, like, not everything is lost if you don't have a father. So happy Father's Day once again, and the fathers who are doing the most to help their families, we are rooting for you. Your sons are looking at you, your daughters are looking at you, and may we breed better families. And to those young fathers who are trying to do their best, we see you. The video is quite long, so I'm not gonna have an outro or say anything else after this. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me what your experience was of having a father or of not having a father. Enjoy.
My name is Nontle Beryl, and I'm a singer, I'm a songwriter, I'm an entrepreneur, I am a blogger, I'm a chocolate lover, I am a traveler, and I am the biggest Beyonce stan in all the earth.
Hi, my name is Ayanda Soazi, and I am a business owner and producer, and I'm so excited to be part of the Father's Day feature.
Hello, I'm Zonaka. It's a pleasure to be a part of this initiative. I'm a researcher and speechwriter for the Office of the Chief Justice.
Hey guys, my name is Tubeli Mavuso, and I work in the financial services industry. I also have a few side hustles going, so I've got an events decor business as well as a kids online clothing store called Kids Apparel Company. And so today I get to talk to you about my relationship with my dad.
I would say that I am the textbook definition of a daddy's girl. I have all the symptoms, and I definitely don't want to find a cure because my dad is just like
Hardcore. Used to be my favorite parent, kind of share that responsibility equally now with both parents. Love them both and respect them and adore them both equally, but definitely used to be a daddy's girl. I used to light up when he came into the room. I started reading at his feet. He was the one that used to take me through homework a lot that I remember. We're very similar in ideology, if not in temperament. And I find that he's one of my favorite sounding boards for concepts or ideas or sorts of clashes that I might be having.
No, I wouldn't. Simply because daddy's girls are spoiled by their fathers, hey? My dad never spoiled us, no. But he made us acknowledge and understand how in this world you've got to work for what you get. And so I think that was a very important value to instill in us. And I think the other one is daddy's girls consult their fathers for like a lot of things, right? So that I definitely do, you know. So if I'm about to buy a car, buy a property, or, you know, decisions that I believe should involve him, I absolutely consult my dad, because he's got a lot of wisdom there and a lot of experience. So why would I not tap into that resource? So my dad is also quite brilliant at assisting a girl to navigate this world.
I have an amazing relationship with my dad, one that I'm incredibly grateful for. When I was growing up, though, I did not think that he was special. He was my dad, and he just did the things that I expected all fathers to do. It was only when I got to university that other people made me realize that my dad was special and it was extraordinary because he was doing the things that fathers are supposed to do, you know, like being supportive, like being loving and being caring and showing up when I needed him. And that's all I knew. Even to this day, although I live in Germany now, we are still so tight, and we have these weekly phone calls every Sunday where we talk on the phone for sometimes 2 or 3 hours. That doesn't mean that the rest of the week we don't talk. We still communicate all the time, and he is still incredibly supportive of my dreams, of me, very loving. I love my dad.
My relationship with him is actually fantastic. It has evolved over the years, and obviously we have our ups and downs, but I think now I can call him a friend and an advisor, someone that I lean on quite a bit for knowledge, and I'm really grateful for all the formidable years that I had to see him as this huge superman of a giant that he is. Now he is my friend, and he is one of my best friends.
It used to be disciplinarian. He was sort of the final authority and the final law at home, but in a very soft, very gentle way. But now, in many ways, it's kind of friendly. I don't know if that's the right word, but we talk as pals, I think, more than we do as father and daughter. So we will share ideas on sermons. He's a preacher and so am I. Well, he's a pastor. I preach sometimes. We will talk about finances, we will talk about investments. We do not talk about boys. I don't think that will ever happen until I'm getting married. But we do talk a lot about things that are happening outside. I ask him for advice a lot, he asks me for advice a lot. So it's kind of more a friendly type of vibe.
My dad. So over the years, it's very interesting because he's a father of 3 girls. So I think initially, when we were in like primary school and the likes, my dad was a softie. He's always been a hands-on father. So he would, take us to school. He would, coach us for tennis on Sundays. He would, wouldn't help us get ready for church. He would put pressure on us to be ready for church. But he was, driving us as a family to church every week. Very interested in our academics. Also interested in our interests as well. He's been hands-on. He started out like extremely strict, hey? So especially through like our high school years and into varsity. He was just clear about curfews, very clear about, what his expectations of us are, and very clear about like discipline and how, the noble girls need to carry themselves. So that was great. It wasn't an issue at all, and you absolutely understand it. I mean, thinking about the world that we live in, it's gotten quite crazy. So he started out as a disciplinarian and a values instiller and enforcer, and now he's moved into this this loving teddy bear, this softie, So I think now that he's seen us, through it all, we've gotten an education. In his eyes, we've ticked the boxes that we needed to tick. So for him, he was clear that he needs to make sure that we're educated, that we've got a license, that we're able to become independent. And once now that he's seen that through, he's become the softie that calls me, every other day to check on me. Very interested in my health and my well-being. Yeah, we make fun of each other, but mostly we take care of each other.
The thing that makes me the proudest of my dad is just the human being that he is. You put aside him being my father, he is incredibly humble. He's very kind. He's caring, super supportive. Oh, he's intelligent. My dad is very, very intelligent. I love his honesty. He's a good person. He's a good person. He's a good person outside of him being my dad. Now that I'm older and I understand that not everyone is an amazing father as he is, I am now, of course, proud of the father that he is to me and my brother. I could really go on and on talking about my dad because he is honestly one of the most incredible human beings that I know.
I'd say one of the things that I am most proud of when it comes to my dad would be his ambition. My dad is always willing to try anything once and put 150% effort into it. Whether it's a success or a failure, he's going to come out better on the other side of it. There's always a lesson to be learned, and he never wants to be bored. He never wants to not keep a sharp mind. And he's learning Swahili and he just turned 60. So that's kind of to show you that he's never, ever, ever not willing to put himself out there and learn something new.
My father is a man of deep thought, of profound intellect, and a deep passion for serving people. And he loves combining those three things to ensure that the people that he is around are given the very best of him, the very best of his intellectual efforts, the very best of his ideas and thinking. He was the first preacher that I heard ideas of social justice from, of decolonization from, of black excellence from, of seeing God as a person who was deeply interested in the plight and pain of people. He humanized the Bible for me in a way that nobody else has, and he did this long before it was fashionable, long before there were hashtags. I will always admire that about him.
I really respect my father. I think what makes me proudest about him is how hard of a worker he is. He's got an impeccable work ethic. Also, how good of a mediator he is. So, I mean, he has 3 daughters and obviously a wife, and he's lived with women all his life, and he's always been able to be level-headed, objective, mediate our conversations to get the best outcome. That's definitely his strength. And then also the role that he's played as a mediator also in a lot of other people's lives, so he serves on a number of bodies to facilitate crucial conversations. So that makes me really proud of my father and how he's such a family man with really strong family values as well. And how he's clear about standing up for social injustices as well. So he's also quite vocal, especially in our household around that. So that's what makes me proud of my dad. Yeah.
I'd say that the greatest impact that my dad has contributed towards my womanhood is the way that I love myself and the confidence that I have. The way that my parents, both of them, they love me, it has always given me a confidence that I can pursue any dream I want, because I know that even if I fail, they will always love me, they will always catch me. I've made mistakes in my life and I failed, and my dad has always, he's been there to catch me. He's been there to help me start over without judging me. That kind of love, that genuine, unconditional love from a father, it has given me the confidence to be whoever and whatever I want to be.
He's impacted me on my womanhood in the sense that I have taken 3 qualities that I think from my dad that most people have told me about. When my dad wants to do something, he does it with 150% every single time. When he walks into a room, you feel his presence immediately because he's such a proud man. And when he opens his mouth to talk to you, he's always warm and funny and sweet to every single person, whether you are passing him in the mall or whether you are bumping into him at the garage. He is nice to every single person he meets, and those are the qualities I can say I've taken from my father.
Weird little story. I was 16 years old. I had very bad menstrual cramps growing up. He's going to be very embarrassed by this story. And my father quietly made, for the first time ever, I'd never had a hot water bottle, quietly went and made a hot water bottle, boiled it, came and gave it to me and said, this might help with your cramps. Never been grossed out or weirded out by any of those things. And I think that made me more comfortable in myself in many ways that I only realized much later.
So my father has been very instrumental in making sure that his 3 daughters are strong and independent women. For him, in our conversations, we've always asked him, like, didn't you wish for a son? He was like, no, I was good with you 3. He was just like, no, I was grateful for healthy children, and with you 3, I've seen, all of God's favor, actualize in my life. So he was very clear about making sure that as women, we're never dependent on anybody else. So once we got our licenses, I remember Lindile, my older sister, got her license, her driver's license, and we all had to watch him, change a tire. We now only needed to be trained in being able to change a tire, understand how jumper cables work, if you need to jumpstart your car, making sure that we get an education, helping us understand what it takes to, buy a car, to facilitate the purchase of a property, all of those crucial things that are quite critical to enabling one to become independent. And so I think that was one of his major contributions, as well as he still treats us as like ladies, so he's such a gentleman that in him treating you as a lady and as a queen, you naturally then want to be, queen worthy,
Oh, my dad is definitely the standard for the kind of man that I would want to spend the rest of my life with and start a family with. For me, the most important character traits in a man are honesty and humility and kindness. Kindness is actually number 1, because I saw those things in my father. I see those things to this day in my father. I see the way that he treats my mom with respect and, with kindness. Absolutely, he is the standard.
He is high key. He set a standard for the kind of person that I'd want to be with, because I'd want someone who is as protective as my dad, somebody who is going to push me to be better in everything that I do, someone who's always going to challenge me mentally to make sure that I understand that I can always do better, and someone who's going to always have my back 100 times over, whether it's my fault that I'm in trouble or not. Someone who will always have my back, and that's exactly what my dad has set a standard on when it comes to someone that I would consider a partner for myself.
I think my dad definitely set the bar high in terms of how I understood that I need to be treated, as a woman. My dad has always been a gentleman, in his gestures, in, the way he addressed us. Small examples, if we're traveling, ours is to put our luggage at the door, my dad packs it into the car, and it's a given that my dad will drive us to the destination, long distance or short distance, whatever, but he's driving. Little things like that, another thing that at the end of the day, when everybody's in the house, my dad is the one that does the security check, makes sure all doors are locked, makes sure all windows are closed. He absolutely is the standard because of how much of a gentleman he is. So there were a number of traits that unconsciously, actually, relationships, and when obviously I finally found my husband, subconsciously there are traits that I would either recognize in my husband that are in my father, and others where I would have expectations of my husband to fulfill because my father has. And so naturally we are a product of our, of our environment and our circumstances and what we've been exposed to. So my dad was the bar, in all my engagements with men.
Yes, he is. And from like an aesthetic level, from how he looks, my father's dark skin, he's tall, he's bearded. That is extremely important. That is very important. I don't always enforce the dark skin part, but like that kind of look is very important. My father does not have a temper. He does not raise his voice. He does not treat my mother like a child. He treats her like an equal. He goes to her for advice. He treats us like equals. He's present and engaged. That is extremely important for me. I don't tolerate things that are not that way.
My best memories of my father were on Sundays, where he would take us out to the local country club, and he would train us in tennis. So we had a tennis coach, and we would go to our tennis lessons during the week. But then on Sundays, he was like Mr. Williams, trying to train up Serena and Venus. I remember with myself and Lindile. Anile was too young. Our younger sister was too young, but he would try to like whip us into shape, make sure our services and our form is correct. Try to get us fit, make us do the laps, and those times were amazing. Unfortunately, we let him down because I ain't no Serena Williams. Here I am. But my dad always invested in us. Invested his time in us. Always made an effort to make sure that we get, all the exposure that he wanted, for his children to have, and that he may not have had himself when he was growing up. So those are my fondest memories of my dad. And he still, till this day, continues to invest in us, through sharing his wisdom, and still through exposing us to things that, we wouldn't typically have exposed ourselves to. So whether it be, literature, because he comes from like a bloodline of authors, or, an experience that he shares. So he's still very much that guy.
Oh man, I think picking out one memory that I love the most of my dad is very hard, but so when I was in high school, I came home this one afternoon, and just in passing, I said to my parents, so they are now offering hockey, and I'm thinking of trying it out. 2 days later, on Saturday, I was still sleeping. My dad wakes me up, and he had bought me an entire hockey kit. the whole thing. And why I love this memory so much is because that moment was just a reaffirmation of how much my dad loves me. To this day, it's just always been like that. When I come up to him and I say, I have this goal, or I want to attempt this, I want to do this, I want to go there, he has never made me doubt myself or question my abilities. He just fully supports me. Just 100% fully supports me. That love and that affirmation is the best memory that I have of my dad.
One of my favorite memories is one that he actually doesn't remember, but luckily there's a picture. We were dancing to, I don't know what the song was, but we were dancing in my grandmother's house outside in the garden in the sun in summertime, and I remember stepping onto his feet thinking I'm going to literally move up like a whole meter, because this guy who is my dad is letting me step on his feet so we can dance together, and he's holding my hands and we're just swaying in the sun. And luckily for me, there was a picture taken, so it's one of my fondest memories of him, one of my earliest as well. And I think the second would be my 21st birthday party. My dad said a speech for me talking about the day that I was born and how excited he was and how excited and scared he was, but he was just looking forward to it because, I'm his firstborn, so he was just really, really amped to meet me. And I still have that speech today, and I always look back on it thinking to myself, oh my gosh, my dad, I made him that excited, and I was literally just being born. So it's one of those things that I love to look back at, because I can remember when he was saying that speech how excited he was to tell everybody about it, and it just took me back to when the day I was born. Though I may not remember it, it's just the excitement around it could be felt and seen through his eyes, and I really, really appreciate him sharing that with my friends and family.
Definitely that hot water bottle moment. Some moments to go to city, going shopping with me for my graduation and letting me buy whatever I want. Bought me my first pair of Zara shoes. My Zara addiction is probably his fault.
I love my dad.
Dad, if you're watching this, I love you very, very much. This is coming from your firstborn. Welcome to the Senior Citizens Club. Senior Citizens Club. I love you very much. I hope you're having an amazing Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. I love you, Dad. Mwah.
And this Father's Day, I'd just like to wish him a happy Father's Day. Let him know that we love him so much. We appreciate not just his presence. His presence has been key, but also his contribution. His contribution in our lives, the values he's instilled in us, the love he's shown us consistently. I love you very much, Dad. Happy Father's Day. And happy Father's Day to all your fathers out there too.
I love you, Dad. You have set the example and the bar so incredibly high. I absolutely adore you. I hope God blesses you and gives you many more years and many more grays and many more grandchildren from Randy and Tangeni and Mo, probably. But I love you. Happy Father's Day.
I literally only have 5 minutes because the sun is going down and I'm going to make it work. Okay, Zoe? So if you get my outtakes, you get them, you get them, you get it how it is. All right, Jesus, help me. Please, please. Okay, here we go.
I'm going to jump right into it. This is the 4th time that I'm recording this because apparently 4 minutes is not as long as I thought and I talk too much.
Wow, looking for a man. That makes that makes the girl sound thirsty.